Hey, thanks for joining. We're very, very excited to be here celebrating 1 million views on our YouTube channel. I think we can give ourselves a round of applause, because why not? We assume that you're clapping out there in Blue Jeans Events Land, so we're clapping here in New Jersey. If you are unfamiliar with the faces you're seeing on your screen, my name is Eric Matisoff, and at Adobe, my role is the Principal Evangelist focused on analytics and data science. To my left is
Ben Gaines. I lead a product management organization called Adobe Analytics.
And I'm Jen Lasser. I'm a Principal Product Manager for Adobe Analytics.
All right, and the reason we are here to celebrate is our Analytics YouTube channel. Very, very fun. If you're unfamiliar with it, you can subscribe now. In fact, I think today, we hit exactly 19,000 subscribers on the dot.
Ooh.
So if you subscribe, then this will be inaccurate, and we'll have to start this whole thing all over again, which is fine with me. It seems totally worth it. But
I'm hearing that we're at 19,013.
Okay, let me go in and change the slide real quick. 19.
That's what they're telling me in the truck.
Oh,
in my earpiece.
Of course. So for those of you that aren't already a subscriber, head on over to that Adobe lead that you're seeing on your screen to check us out. Anyway, we've got a fun little thing going on for you today. We just wanted to hang out and spend some time together in person and digitally with you and with the folks in the truck out back. And so here's our agenda. We've got some pretty exciting, fun things going on. First of all, we're going to walk through our top videos, which I think will be very exciting. And I don't know about you guys, but I did review those videos to see who happens to be the narrator on more videos than any others.
I'm guessing it's this one.
I'm just thinking it's a team.
It's not me.
Thing,
Yeah, we're definitely not competing, but I did look to see.
And I want to win.
Right, of course. Yeah.
It's not a competition, but I want to. It's not a competition unless I win.
Right.
In which case it wasn't.
Yeah, that is not a competition. Yeah. Speaking of competitions, we have something kind of crazy and cool that we put together. We're calling it the Fantasy Analytics Video Draft, where we picked names out of a hat earlier today in order to draft our top favorite analytics videos. And so we'll be walking you through them, and you have the opportunity in the chat pod to put your thoughts together for who put together the best team of analytics videos. They'll be going head to head every Sunday. No, they won't. This will give you kind of that. Then we also want to hear from you. We want to make sure that your voices are heard. So we put together a quick little poll to hear from you about what types of videos you want to see us making more of. Then actually this next one, Jen, maybe you want to describe it since you're such a big fan.
Yeah, we're going to go through some mean tweets, Jimmy Kimmel style. So we are always listening out there on Measure, Slack, Twitter, LinkedIn, what have you. And when you guys mention us, we're listening. And sometimes it's not very nice.
Yeah,
like if I told it to my mom, she'd be pretty sad.
Some of you suck.
I wouldn't go that far.
Just a
anyway,
very tiny percent.
We wanted to have some fun with it, so we captured some of those tweets, made them anonymous, of course, and we'll give you our replies to them.
Yes. And then, Ben, you've got a sneak peek for us?
I do. I've got something really exciting to share, something that has never been seen before outside of Adobe, except for the handful of users that we tested with, but that is coming to Adobe Analytics soon. How soon? You will find out.
Ooh. Would you say it's worth $1 million?
I hope it's worth more than $1 million, since this is a Fortune 500 company that we work for.
Of course. Oh, yeah. $100 billion.
Something like that.
Blue Jeans Events is doing the super zoom in on the tour.
I hope.
I'm going to do that. Then at the very end, we've got some pretty sweet swag shirts on that we are all rocking right now. And you will get an opportunity to get them all expense free. Free shipping, free trips.
Doesn't matter where you live, we'll get you the t-shirt.
Yeah, you get to pick the size and the color, and that's everything there is to choose.
Spoiler alert,
yeah.
This is the light blue, so
yes.
Just make sure you like teal.
It's the teal deal. All right, so let's get started. Ben, I think you're going to walk us through the top videos, or was that?
Yeah, let's take a look at the top videos.
Cool.
So, we obviously love data at Adobe Analytics. And so my first thought as we were going through as we're celebrating the success we've had with the YouTube channel, was to take a look at what are the top videos and maybe do a little bit of analysis and talk through, are there any surprises here, anything that we would want to maybe understand deeper. I don't think it's a shock that Analysis Workspace Overview is by far the #1 most viewed video. What's interesting is that we have done a few different versions of the Analysis Workspace Overview video, and as you can see, they're both very popular. First time Adobe Analytics implementation. That's a bit of a surprise to me to see it that far up there.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not totally sure what's going on there. I also think it's interesting that it's got a little bit of a lower like rate at 95.5%. So there's something there maybe that it's not resonating with people.
I do believe that you narrated that one.
I think I did, yes.
So that could have something to do with the likability of that.
I think implementation is a hot topic too.
Oh,
People
it
always
is.
wanting to
It's
learn
true.
more about it.
Yeah.
So.
It's a difficult topic to handle, just a broad YouTube video, right? I mean, that's a very customized thing. There's nothing really standard there other than the actual, the evars and props and events. But beyond that, it's hard to say, use this event for this thing or this evar for that thing. Whereas, Analysis Workspace Overview, event diagram is going to be event diagram.
If we take a look at the pathing report associated with these videos, there's a pretty big cheat code entered in with the Analysis Workspace Overview because it auto plays when you load up the channel.
I'll say a little bit of bias here.
So you'll notice also I'm the narrator on that one, which is why it does so well and has such a great like rate.
Of course.
So
of course.
My biggest surprise on here, launch and workspace button having 100% like rate. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a very underrated feature, I think.
Yeah, and that actually ties in really well with the sneak peek that we're going to be doing a little bit later on. So hopefully we will
foreshadowing.
Kind of, you've got something to look forward to there in terms of what's coming soon. Fallout and Flow, really interesting that they're 6 and 7 since they're related. They're both about pathing, both about sequence, and they came out at the same time.
Yeah.
This one
Cohort 2,
wasn't-
part of Journey IQ altogether.
Yeah, those three kind of weren't a big surprise because when we look at the data of people using visualizations in Workspace, those three are right there at the top. So people are wanting to learn about it, going and using it, getting a lot of value. So.
And that tells us as product managers, it gives us a sense of maybe where we should be focusing we certainly are listening to data like this that tells us that there's real interest in those aspects of the product.
As you'll learn during mean tweets as well, we are always listening.
Yes, exactly. So I for anyone who's interested, this is some of the data that we have and that we look at to help us understand what's popular, where we need to maybe create more content on the YouTube channel if something's really popular, and we'll continue to watch those video views go up.
Yeah, and hopefully maybe one day YouTube will give us better analytics than views, which I hear maybe not the most useful metric, but we'll see.
It's true, although your point about pathing data, I think it was you that said that brought up the pathing data, Eric. So, we have some more data, but we wanted to just give a high-level overview. And yes, views maybe is not the best. We have looked at time spent, and that's when you look at 1 million views, you start to get into some total time spent numbers that are completely unfathomable, like in terms of number of hours of, the thousands and hundreds of thousands of hours that people have spent with these videos, which is, I think, really gratifying as the creators of these videos.
Yeah, makes it worth putting this content out there.
Yeah, thank you for watching. Thanks to you, especially you.
Yes.
No, not you.
You personally.
Yeah, that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we didn't even want to just show you what the top viewed videos are. We also wanted to kind of add our perspective about what our favorite videos are, and maybe just what our favorite features are as well. So if you haven't watched the videos yet, you can go and check those out after this webinar. So how are we doing this draft?
All right, so this draft, so it's the Fantasy Analytics video draft, which is world-renowned as the best video
Analytics
draft.
All of the best videos have gathered in New York City for this draft. This is the elite set. These videos have put in the time. They've been in the weight room.
Oh, yes.
They attended the video combine.
Where
their skills are tested.
Of the classifications overview.
And they've made it to the draft. Dreams will come true. The payoff is real. It's here.
All right, so as I mentioned, we drew names from a hat earlier today, and we actually purposefully sat in this order. It's a snake
Yes.
draft, if you're familiar, which means that Jen will be going first, then Ben, then me, then I'll go again back to Ben and Jen, and we're going to keep going until the sun sets, or well, until we all get free picks.
A lot of content to get
Yeah,
through.
so day 2 of the draft is tomorrow. In person
man.
only. In person
Oh,
only.
man,
We will
okay.
not be on Blue Jeans events for that. So, Jen, with the first pick.
All right, with the first pick, no brainer for me, drop down filters, you guys. When I think,
Oh, yes.
yeah,
Very,
awesome,
very
awesome.
nice.
When I think back about all of the last 5 years while I've been on this team, this one is top of mind for me. Drop-down filters have always existed outside the product, but people want to be able to interact and slice and dice the data in their projects. When they give it to somebody, they don't want them to come back and ask questions. They rather build in these drop-downs and let the end user interact. So we built those into Workspace, and now almost every project I see a customer open has at least one drop-down in it. So you can see here, all you can do is just drag over from the left rail. You can create segment drop-down filters. You can even create filters based on time. Possibilities are endless. So that is the number 1 pick in the 2021 Video Analytics Draft.
The number 1
Drop-down
pick.
filters.
Wow.
You know, you really just can't argue with this feature's athleticism,
You
its,
can't.
its length,
Nope.
Yes.
and you know, I think it's going to have a long career in the league.
Flexibility
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I got to say, I do love the view-only shared projects, how you can still interact with the
Oh, yeah.
with the drop-down filters. They're wonderful.
Game changer.
Whoever the PM was on this one,
I don't know.
It was,
Again, maybe a little bias crept in there with my pick.
it really is, I think, probably the best example we have of something that we, you know, it was kind of small. It was released in a maintenance, and it wasn't a major release with a bunch of PR and marketing associated with it, that became really a star of the product and was one of our most successful releases ever. So well done, Jen.
Thank you. So Ben,
Yeah.
I think you're next.
I am next.
Who do you have for number 2?
I am next. With the second pick in the video analytics video draft, Team Ben selects the mobile app, the analytics mobile app.
I have to give some snaps. That's
Yeah.
a good pick.
dashboards.
What I love about the mobile app is that it was designed so it was designed for executive users with the partnership of executive users. So we worked closely. A couple of product managers on our team, Ashok Kortapati and Jennifer Workmeister, have been working closely with executives from all over the world in all of the industries that Adobe Analytics serves to create a view that that answers their questions on the go. And it demos like a champ. The video is tight and does a great job explaining what's in this app. And if you haven't checked it out, definitely check it out. It's available for iOS and Android. Analysts can create views, create dashboards, and then share those with their executives. And it's a great video and it's a great feature. So I'll take that with the second pick of the draft.
Yeah, it's a good pick. You know, it's a feature that plays offense and defense, iOS, Android, dark mode, light mode. It's, you know, it goes both ways. It's a good one. I'm very happy with it.
Yeah, it's going to be a great addition to our team.
Yeah, I think so.
Eric, I think that brings you to the podium.
Okay, all right. Well, you know, obviously I'm impressed with your 2 picks here. We should have gotten jerseys like with the number 1 to put on the videos, but we didn't quite have the budget for it.
Yeah.
Because we want to get t-shirts to you. So with my third pick in the draft, I went with multiple report suites. Yeah. So if you remember in the before times when we used to actually see you folks in person, we would oftentimes have insider tours, rockstar tours, skill exchanges, summit, all sorts of things. And we would have a section where we would walk through, you know, some cool stuff on the roadmap. And there was nothing that energized the crowd more than seeing some screenshots or a demo or seeing the fact that multiple report suites is coming to Workspace in a very near Workspace time for them. What I love about it particularly is just how natural it is to interact with. You right click, you duplicate, you've got it. You switch your report suite and the whole left rail updates to the metrics and the dimensions and the segments that matters. It just simply works in kind of like a Apple-y kind of a way. It's it works the way you expect it to. And I'm a really big fan of all of that. And I'm glad that, we had so much feedback over the years saying like, hey, can we maybe get more than one report suite in
This is the #1 feature requested for the last 5 years,
forever.
I think.
Yeah.
So I love how it allows our customers to simplify the projects they create. We used to see like 10 projects, one for each region.
Oh.
Now you can kind of bring that all into one single project with the different report suites. So big time saver.
Yeah, I love it. Like I've started creating like a debugging workspace project template that is like, when I'm doing a new implementation, these are all the things I need to debug, like these 20 or 30 different variables. All I need to do is switch the report suite, and then I've got all the data I need right at my fingertips.
Great point.
Great point. It's a wunderbar.
All right, we're snake drafting. So.
Okay. All right. So I went with a heavyweight, multiple report suites, and then I thought, what's something super tactical that we're asked about a lot that is a pretty unique solution? And so I went with cross-sell analysis. And so cross-sell analysis with Jen, I think this is actually your video, if I remember correctly.
Is, yeah.
I love it because it takes drop-down filters, and then it makes a really cool, really powerful use case for them, in that you can see on hits that have variables that have multiple values within those variables, like the products variable, or of course list bar, list props, see the other values that are getting sent on those same hits. And I think that's worlds of value right there. That's all it takes. And I think back to those lovely Site-Cat 14 and Site-Cat 15 days of like, oh, the cross-sell report is so cool, and this just blows it out of the water. I love
so much more you can do with this.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, so if this is one that isn't a feature necessarily, it's more of like a tip or trick or best practice or capability, which is why I had to pick it for my second pick of the draft.
That's what I love about this video. I mean, I did it, but just generally, it's fun to see what you can do with the product and how you can bend it to your will without it being like a feature that gets released. So lots of cool things out there.
Yeah, and this is one of those things, I think we've talked about this before, that when you, as a product manager, there's so much joy when you discover that something's possible that you didn't quite intend to build, but like, oh, by the way, it can do this. And this is one of those things that like, oh, hey, guess what? We happen to do cross-sell. Didn't mean to, but it's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Wonderful.
Love it.
All right, so those are my two. Ben, you're on the clock.
All right, fifth pick in the draft. Team Ben will select the CJA overview, the Customer Journey Analytics overview video.
I don't know how I missed this in a #1.
I didn't expect it to be available at 5, but that's what drafting is all about. You have to be opportunistic. So I love the CJA overview video because it is the overview of, I think, the most exciting thing that we have going on right now in terms of future-looking product development. I mean, I'm biased because my team works heavily on customer journey analytics, but all of the great things that you love about Adobe Analytics now on cross-channel merged data, where we're looking at things like the impact of online on call center or the impact of call center on online. We're looking at lifetime value across channels. We're able to segment on cross-channel data, so you can say, show me people who browsed online and purchased in store. Things that many of you have been wanting to do in Adobe Analytics for a long, long time that now are possible because of Adobe Experience Platform and Customer Journey Analytics. And then a bunch of other benefits that probably don't come out in the overview video. I can't remember how much of it is covered, but things like resolving unique value limits so that is no longer an issue. Unlimited array dimensions. So if you wanted unlimited list variables, you got them. They're in Customer Journey Analytics, and all of that on cross-channel data. So I love the feature, and the video, I think, it does a great job demonstrating. I mean, you can see payment type broken down by checkout type, broken down by store location. Like, that's just not data that we had in Adobe Analytics, but it's all part of Customer Journey Analytics. So it's super exciting to see the video and to kind of realize what's really possible with this thing.
Yeah, I love all the use cases that this video highlights. Like, just this table at the top shows you all the different rows of additional information that can come into analytics. It's amazing.
Yeah. Seen it all consolidated into September of 2019.
I think we've
month. It's my birthday month. Yeah.
I think we've got a future superstar at the 5th pick in the draft.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you're suggesting it's a sleeper?
I think it's a sleeper. Jen,
all right.
pick.
It's back to me again. Thank you guys for letting me get back in the draft.
Yes, please.
With the sixth pick.
You'll get to.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Snake draft. With the sixth pick, Team Lasser drafts approximate, count, distinct, function, from calculated metrics.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay. If you don't know, you're gonna know. This feature was something when I was in consulting that got asked all the time. People wanted to be able to just count the different values coming into a dimension. I want to count all the different customer IDs in my customer dimension. I want to know how many unique products I'm getting hits for within a month. I want to count the number of unique search terms in a month. Now you can. With the approximate count distinct function, we're not just like creating one metric of customers for you. It's dynamic. You can bring in any dimension, create any new metric that you'd like, and bring it into your analysis. And like drop-down filters, like every project I look at now has at least one metric that has been calculated using approximate count distinct function. So if you aren't using it, definitely check it out. This customer ID use case being shown here on the screen is like the #1 use for it, but tons of other ways it can be applied.
Yeah, so again, like going back to my favorite world of like debugging and implementation, like I find it super useful for those sort of strange use cases where it's like, are people actually, do we have lots of values for this or not? And you can just throw in whatever dimension you want in there, not just customer ID or marketing channel or something like that. Throw in any dimension you've got the distinct count there. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I think so. All right.
Number 7.
I am enjoying the older UI that we're seeing here as well. Adobe Analytics Beta we got going on there.
Taking a trip down memory lane with these videos. More to come on that.
Oh, okay.
I think. Okay. With the 7th pick in the draft, I'm taking component drop downs.
Oh.
All right.
Whoa.
You may be like, didn't she
What?
just pick that earlier? No. So component drop downs for me have. When you come into Analysis Workspace in the before time, I'll pivot off of component drop downs release. You'd have to use the left rail. You'd have to drag and drop over, and sometimes things would work, sometimes they wouldn't, and you wouldn't really know why things were kind of grayed out. Now with component dropdowns, anywhere you are in Workspace, you can just choose from compatible components for that particular visualization. Like the Venn, choose your segments, choose your metric, and click build. I think it's just really revolutionized how you build your analysis and really simplify things for all levels of our users. I consider myself a power user of Workspace. I don't know if that's, the right level to put myself at. Yeah. But even I use these and have started to use them.
Sensei may disagree.
So I don't know what you guys think, but I'm pretty satisfied with that rounding out my.
That's a strong team. It's a strong team. There's no question about it.
Yeah, you got to name your team something to do with drop. You're the drop downers or
drop
something.
It like it's hot.
Drop down it like it's hot.
Yeah.
What I thought with the challenge for component dropdowns for me has been like retraining my brain to stop going to the left rail. And every time I go to the left rail nowadays, I'm like, I didn't have to do that. And I find like it's just so much faster not to. Yeah. Because it's in context. I've dragged it over and like, it was nice when we made that little change so that when you drag something over from the left rail of visualization that it pops you back to the metrics and dimensions and segments. But having to your mouse is already over there, you're ready to rock and roll, just start typing essentially is really nice. So like if you're kind of like me, that you've had a challenge like getting used to this change in UI, just kind of force fit yourself to do it a few times, and then you're gonna never look back again. It's like, becoming an Eagles fan.
Something like that. Yeah, I wouldn't know.
Right.
I don't know anything about that.
You watched the Super Bowl, and then all of a sudden you're an Eagles fan.
All right, I'm curious to hear your last pick. So let's get to the 8th pick.
Okay, Ben, please.
Yeah. With the 8th pick in the draft, I will take the original Analysis Workspace overview.
Oh, look at that thing! Whoa!
Now, here's
a veteran.
I am. I'm drafting a 35-year-old. So here's I'm drafting this in part because Analysis Workspace obviously is awesome. We love it, and we're really proud of it. And I think the feedback and the data that we have suggests that a phenomenally powerful analysis tool that stands on its own. But part of why I picked this is just the video itself, because if you look at it, it's almost you're taken aback seeing how much Analysis Workspace has changed in the time since then. And I think one of the things we've done a really good job of, if I may, toot our own horn as the Adobe Analytics team, is keeping Analysis Workspace fresh. You can see that we've made a ton of changes. We released a thing in late 2015 that was revolutionary, I think, and the feedback we got bore that out. But we haven't stopped. We've improved it. We've changed the core interactions are very similar. You can see them, dropping segments onto multiple columns here. You can totally still do that. But not only is the look and feel updated, but a lot of the drafts, the features that you drafted, that both of you drafted, really speak to how far the product has come. And it's exciting to look back and see really how basic it was back in late 2015 when we recorded this video. And the other last thing I'll say here about this video is that the whole idea of this YouTube channel that we're here celebrating really came out of about that same time period. I don't know the exact date that we started the YouTube channel. Justin Grover, who some of you will know, I think came to my desk one day and said, hey, we've got this problem. We've got, our product managers have so much to do. It's hard to go record, really lengthy videos and write scripts. So let's just start a YouTube channel and let's just put some things up there. And I think the Analysis Workspace overview is one of the very first things that we put up there. And so to me, it harkens back to this phenomenal idea that Justin had, and he and I started it, and then YouTube took it to the next level once you both got involved. But anyway, it's a sentimental pick. Obviously, Analysis Workspace continues to be a big part of what makes Adobe Analytics great. So that's the eighth pick of the draft.
Ben gave you props earlier for releasing drop-down filters. Well, Ben was one of the core team members to release Analysis Workspace and start our YouTube channel. So thank you, Ben, for allowing all of this to happen.
I appreciate that. I was small part, but it was fun to be involved.
You presented it as a sneak initially, right?
It was a sneak at Summit in 2015.
Okay.
And it went to public beta, I think, the following week.
Who was the comedian that year?
Oh man, who was it?
Is that Wayne Brady?
Wayne Brady.
Yeah.
I think it was Wayne Brady.
Oh man.
Yeah, I made a Dave Chappelle reference and he just did not play along. It was
not here for it.
not.
All right. Well, everyone's got their preferences.
Yeah.
All right, Eric, close this out.
All right, well, I'm going to close this out.
Mr. Irrelevant or Ms. Irrelevant.
Yeah, perhaps. We shall see. This next pick is one that is like near and dear to my heart for value that I get out of it. It builds on Jen's approximate count distinct, but what I love about it is it brings that functionality to segments. Mm-hmm. And so this is distinct count in segments, and I find it incredibly valuable. I'm using it it feels like all the time. I'm like, oh, what if I were to just kind of throw that into a distinct count segment? It's like bingo bango, I've got exactly what I'm looking for. We've been talking about flexibility, we've been talking about strength, we've been talking about core speed. All of these things, are what I see out of this feature and out of this video. And we also see my one love of the cross-industry demo data set is the report suite in the video. So it's got it all there.
What I love about this is its preciseness too. Approximate count distinct is approximate. This one is exact. So some of the use cases that we've seen be really helpful for our customers is counting how many marketing channels has a visitor touched or engaged with, how many pages have they visited on my site. So it's really helpful for creating engagement segments and looking at your visitors that way.
Products in an order.
Yes, yeah.
Great. Awesome. All right, well, that rounds it out pretty nicely. We'd love to hear some of your comments in the chat. So if there's one that we missed that you would draft to your team, drop them in there, or tweet us, or maybe even, hey, reach out to us on the YouTube channel. This should be Ben's fourth pick. That's my YouTube commenter voice. So speaking of hearing from you, we also wanted to kick off a quick little poll here in Blue Jeans Events. And so our wonderful producer has just hit publish on that poll. So we want to know what types of videos you want to see us create next. So we've got a good list here that we are squinting to see: implementation, customer journey analytics, tips and tricks, analysis workspace, which seems like it's going to be the next hot thing, report builder, and more. So we are seeing some data flying in here. Votes.
I think if there's a topic missing from this list,
What
it's
is it?
like, we gotta know, we gotta have more content added to the chat pod so we can see it come through.
Yeah.
Maybe people can like comments in there. I'm not sure, but we can gather additional topics that way.
Yeah. Throw some additional ideas into the chat pod, please. If you want to just see Ben quote Pulp Fiction all day, every day, then all you need to do is come join the analytics product management team, and that's kind of what happened. It's Pulp Fiction, Rick and Morty, and then for today, it's a little bit of Austin Powers.
I think you've been doing 99% of the Austin Powers quoting, and the 1% that I did was by accident.
Yeah. Cool. All right. So we've got a number of votes in. Let's see. The winner. This is the 11th pick of the draft. I guess it is, or perhaps the next. I don't know.
The next million views. Where are we going to get the next million views?
Yes.
It's looking like it's tips and tricks, right?
Looking like tips and tricks.
Some more like cross-sell type ways to use Workspace.
Thank you for noticing one of my picks. I think that means my team is the best on paper.
Well, you know what? Let's sort it out on the field/court.
Okay. All right.
Rink/pitch.
We should leave this poll open, right? And let it run.
Yep. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Keep collecting data and
Cool. All right.
Okay.
what's up.
So next up, we have Jen to introduce some of our mean tweets
Mean
here.
tweets. So as I mentioned earlier, we're always out there on the interwebs listening and hearing the feedback coming in. Love when you guys have great ideas and have a really constructive conversation. Sometimes the
Not so
tweets,
constructive.
the comments get a little mean.
Yeah.
I don't think I've shed a tear yet, but don't try to make me cry. But we
Please.
wanted to share some back and give our reactions to those tweets. I think some of these we haven't seen before, some we have, but thought it would be fun to do a little Jimmy Kimmel style mean tweet session for Adobe Analytics comments.
But they aren't all tweets,
They're
right?
not all tweets.
Oh, yeah.
We got these from Measure, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, Experience League.
All over the place. all over the
Someone
place.
passed me on the street and said one. No, I'm
Yeah,
not kidding.
right.
But,
What was up with that?
I don't know.
Rude
Yeah.
people from New Jersey.
So I think I have the first one. that it?
Yes. Oh, yes. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
So the first tweet, I remember the day this came in. This was about Freeform Table Builder, and it said, "What a waste of time. Why would I use this instead of building out the table in real time?"
Yeah.
This one stung a bit, you guys, because this is something that I was the product manager for, and I spent years researching with customers, trying to figure out the right balance of customer value and cost on our side to build. And I thought what we put out there was really helpful, actually. So what I did was I put a video together where I built out a complex question. Freeform Table Builder is wonderful when you have like a multi-dimension, multi-breakdown level question you need to ask. On the left, I used Table Builder, and on the right, I just did drag and drop. What that commenter said, why don't I just do drag and drop? And I had to speed it up for time, you guys. I actually sat there in my real life and spent 10 minutes doing the thing on the right. But I'm speeding it up for you just to show you, cut to the chase, that it was 9 or 8 minutes faster to use Table Builder compared to Freeform. So if that person's listening, that's why you use Table Builder. It's much more efficient and saving you time with that feature.
Oh, yes.
So I just needed you to know.
It is a huge time saver. Like I find that probably 7 times out of 10, I'm using just regular old freeform building, and then every once in a while, I'm like, as I'm starting to build it, I realize, oh my gosh, Table Builder would be such a huge time saver here.
Absolutely.
All right, Ben, you're on deck.
Okay, all right, here we go.
Ready?
Yep. The unspecified filter would be great if it actually worked. Instead, it broke analytics. That's what do you think we were trying to do?
Yeah.
Guy, that's the point.
We always try to break analytics.
Yeah.
You need analytics to work.
No, I love when there are comments. My favorite kind of comment, honestly, and this goes back years and years. There's no one that I have in mind. But I love the comments that are like, "Oh, Adobe, thank you for shipping this. Now, if only you could ship these other 6 things that I want, then it would be great." And then that, and then we do that, and then there are 6 more things. So this kind of had that feel.
Oh yeah,
that feels me.
Yeah. It like also that story makes me think of multiple report suites of like, here's 15 amazing new features that you all get access to, and the first question is, great, when do we get multiple report suites?
Yeah,
it's the same exact thing. All right, okay, so next, I'll go next.
Okay,
it's okay with both of you and our audience, please. All right, so next up we have, come on, Adobe, aren't you the media experts? Oh, this is about wanting images in Workspace. Well, guess what? We are the media experts. Have you seen our T-shirts? Okay, we have. You should. We're gonna tweet a photo of what our setup here is. It's like we're at the NBC studios. And you know what we did? We released images earlier this year, January, in fact, and I found them to be wonderful. It takes a little while to get images in a workspace. We want to make sure that it's running fast and loading quickly and not breaking anything like Ben did with unspecified.
Exactly.
Ben did that.
Ben's engineering code. And so we are the media experts, and thanks for calling us out.
We know nothing about it, yeah.
Yeah, I just threw a knot in there. Should be sick.
Very 90s.
Yeah, cool.
He's great.
All right,
who's up next?
Next up we have Jen.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Go, Jen. See if you can do this one without crying. All right.
No, this one I really like this one actually. All right, so another one I remember. On January 6th, 2020, someone, I think this was an experience lead, said @Jen Lasser. So I got an email, pinged me. I woke up to this email. Can Adobe please consider to release this feature sometime in the new decade? And you know what? I thought this was hilarious because this was the first Monday in the brand new decade that we had just entered. So props to this person for posting that or like thinking of this joke and waiting for the right decade. But I would like to let this person know that we did release this feature in the new decade. That was actually my snarky response. Was like, we will release this in the new decade. And we did in August 2020. This was related to allowing for 50,000 rows to be exported out of Workspace. So
yeah, I love that it's the first Monday. I have this mental image of this like massive Adobe Analytics power user, like just loves the product, and they have stickies all over their monitor for like new features that they're requesting. It's like, what about this decade? Are we gonna get to 2,000 downloads this decade? And then finally Monday hit, and they're like, all right, it wasn't last decade, but it better be this one.
I have that mental image now.
Yeah. All right.
Am I up next?
Let's see it.
Okay. About sunsetting ad hoc analysis, can we do a poll of people that do not like this? Well, I suppose you could, but it would be 100% in opposition to this thing that is actually good for a variety of reasons. So go ahead and run that poll, send it in. I'm going to print it out, and I'm going to put it in the trash because that is a garbage idea. That's it.
Okay.
That's my story.
All right. Good. I'm glad we got that sorted out.
Okay.
Well, I guess I'll go next. Yes. So this was about a webinar that we delivered, data feeds. And the request was, hey, Adobe, I know the video quality is bad, but we still love you. Do better next time. And you know what? Thank you for calling us out. We were using some slightly older technology when we were recording this. I don't know who made that Adobe Connect program that we used to use for webinars, but one of the disadvantages of that webinar program was that it downloaded in literally 540p, which is, or recorded in 540p.
I didn't even know 540p was a thing.
480?
480 maybe?
480?
I think there's a P, but I don't, anyway.
Okay. It was a very low number. And you can see the screenshot there. Look how gigantic the mouse cursor is.
We got, when we get YouTube comments, they actually come into all 3 of our inboxes, and we got that, and immediately Slack we know what video they're talking
Yeah,
about.
did not have to check to click there to see which one it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll work on getting that one.
Yeah, the recent videos in the last 4 years will
they're
be
better.
significantly better than 540.
They're better. I mean, when we started the YouTube channel, the whole point was we want to optimize for getting as much content out there as possible at the expense of quality. And so we were recording with like in onboard laptop microphones and our little laptop screens, and we've come a long way. We have we do placards and title screens and things now, and clean up the audio. So it's definitely better.
Yeah, once we get into the office again, then we'll have a green screen room actually to record into, which is pretty exciting.
That'd be awesome.
All right, Ben, you got the next one.
Do you want? Okay.
Here it comes.
Here we go. Finally, Adobe thought about making these videos after ages. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. It's been I don't. When did this comment actually even come in?
Like 2 weeks ago.
Last week. Yeah, that's right. I saw this email. And the YouTube channel has been around, as you can see in the screenshot, since 2015. So, excuse me, sir or madam, you need to do some research before you send an angry comment. Before you hit my inbox with an angry comment. All right. Make sure you know what you're talking about.
Maybe they're on the Internet Archive. And that's how they browse the internet.
Yeah. If you're using a version of YouTube that predates 2015, then yes, we don't have a YouTube.
Yes. Okay. All right. Glad we figured that out. Awesome. Well, that was really fun.
Yeah.
Thank you. It was definitely more fun than Alec Baldwin being. But yeah, this was much more enjoyable.
We love all the comments that come in, even if we
Yes.
poke some fun at these. So keep them coming.
Yeah. Just know that we get laughs and we also read them. All right, so next up we have Ben, who is going to walk us through a sneak peek of a new feature coming to an analysis workspace in Adobe Analytics near you.
That is right. All right, let me get sharing here. I think this is that I want. All right. Okay, so are we?
And we're unmuted there.
Okay, good. Hopefully they'll chime in if they can't hear us. But so I'm super excited to share something with you that is coming very soon to Analysis Workspace, and I will tell you at the end. Remind me if I forget. Remind me to say how soon it's coming.
Okay.
So how soon is it coming? Oh, later.
Later.
I can do it now. So what I'm about to show you, as soon as I'm done with this demo, while we're still broadcasting, I'm going to send a Slack to the engineering manager for the Adobe Analytics UI, and he is going to push this live by removing a feature flag, so it will become visible to all of you before the end of this presentation, or within a few minutes of the end of whenever he sees my Slack message. But that's
Jake Cahoon, miracle worker.
Yep.
Oh
Yep.
man.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the deal. Analysis Workspace has been out for 6 years, coming up on 6 years. And it's by far where the bulk of Adobe Analytics usage happens. But there still are a few reasons there are a handful of people in your organization probably who rely on reports and analytics. And so we took this idea of how do we kind of bridge these two worlds? How do we create a way for users to get more comfortable in Analysis Workspace and begin to kind of phase out their reports and analytics usage and take advantage of this much better, even if all you're doing is reporting, the visualizations are better, they're more interactive, and then, if you want to change metrics or do breakdowns, of course, Analysis Workspace is light years ahead of reports and analytics. And then we also kind of said, how can we, while we're at it, how can we improve the general project launch and management experience and also add in some ability to do training? And so what we ended up with is something that we internally have called Unified Analytics. I don't think that's necessarily going to be its street name, but really what it is a brand new and dramatically improved launch experience for Analysis Workspace. This is going to be in public beta as of 10 minutes from now. And so what you'll do...
More foreshadowing.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's not even foreshadowing.
Pretty blunt.
Spoiler.
Yeah.
That's being a spoiler. So when you log in, the next time you log into Adobe Analytics, you will see this little toggle down at the bottom. I don't know if you can see my map. Yeah, you can. At the bottom left of the screen that opts you into the new landing page. You and all of your users will be able to opt into it. You can stay opted out of it. You can opt in and out. You can switch back and forth however you want. We're not opting anyone in by default. so that hopefully this won't disrupt your users who are used to a thing. But I'm going to turn it on, and it should refresh, and you can see the new hotness. Okay, so here we are. So let me orient you a little bit and show you what you're looking at. So you've got your project list, and there's a lot more information here now. And there's a reason that that's important, which I'll show you in just a second. But you notice you have the ability to see the last time a project was modified, the last time it was opened. You can select these now, and you can do a lot of the project management actions that you're used to in the project manager directly from here. You can delete, you can share, you can copy, you can pin them. So this is actually a fun one. Let me grab something to pin real quick. So I'm going to pin this guy, and then it will, yeah. So then it'll stay at the top of my list. So I have a lot more control as user of, if there are projects I go back to over and over again, they're not going to necessarily have to be moved down the list as I create new projects. So I can pin those things to the top, which I love. So I can tag them, and then there are a handful of others. I can export my list of projects, and I can approve them, which marks them as sort of blessed for my organization to take advantage of. A great thing that's improved here, is the searchability. So in Analysis Workspace today, when you're launching projects, you can search for, say, merchandising, and it will filter down kind of like what we're seeing here. But what's fun that you can do now is, let's say I wanted to look for a particular report suite. I want to look at projects that use actually let's do We Outdoors. I can search for outdoors, and now it will filter down by report suite. I can do the same thing with any of these fields. So it just so happens that in this account, in this company, I only have projects that I have created, but one of the things that I find myself doing the most with this is searching in other companies that I can't show you for confidentiality reasons, is searching by owner. So like if Jen had created a project, I could search for Lasser. And we're also adding the ability to search across fields. So if you had created a project called merchandising project, and I wanted to find that project, I could search for merchandising Lasser, and it would come up.
Nice.
And so much better searchability.
I love that it's highlighting the characters too, so you know what it's matching to.
Exactly.
Some mystery, what's bubbling to the top.
Yeah, totally. Great point. Whoops. Got a little notification that popped up. So some other things that are worth calling out. There's this additional layer here, which I had hidden, but you can create a blank project. You can create a mobile scorecard. You can also very quickly launch the training tutorial project, which Jen helped create, or created, I think, completely. So if I wanted to do some training, I could launch that project from here, and I can also very quickly find the release notes. So if I want to see what Adobe has been working on, I can do that here as well. So that's the projects page, and I can also of course create a project from this button as well. Let's look at reports, because this is a pretty significant change. Reports combines aspects of reports and analytics, as I mentioned, with the old templates, well, not old, but the templates from Analysis Workspace. So within this reports tab, you can see it's a Miller column navigation, very much like reports and analytics. So if your users are used to using the reports and analytics navigation, this is where they'll come to run those run those same reports, essentially. And when they do so, and I'm going to try to pick one. I don't even know what report suite is going to pop up in this view, but I'm going to pick just like products as a report. So I can open this up, and it doesn't have data. I mean, you'll at least, it didn't. All right, let's. I think I've got one in here that should have something. Do I not have cross industry? Oh, we.demo maybe. So if I load this up, it doesn't have any data in it, but you'll get the general idea. Those of you, if you're in this webinar, you know what these will look like. Yeah. So what you're going to get is a view that's very much like reports and analytics. It's going to give you a table, orders as a metric here. You're going to get a bar graph, and you're going to get a current month view. Let's go back in time a little bit to when this report suite had data. I think it's worth
While you're pulling that up, what I love about the view that the team created is that it has some context around it. So there's a lot of written text in there explaining what it is the user is going to be looking at. It also has some helpful links that are layered in there at the top. So it goes above and beyond what was in reports and analytics for sure.
That elementary green?
Yeah.
That going on?
I don't think that's
I see what
intentional.
they did
But,
there.
Yeah.
I like that.
but so you can see, I went back and got some data. So you can get a bar graph just like you would in reports and analytics, current month view. This is, I mean, users can move these things around. They can delete them if they want to, but the great thing is that they don't have to, and they get a view right out of the box, just like they would in reports and analytics. So again, hoping that over time, your users who are still kind of stuck in reports and analytics land can adopt Analysis Workspace using this view. And if they want to, they can expand the left rail. They can drag, they can do their breakdowns here just like they would in Analysis. Well, they are in Analysis Workspace, not like Analysis Workspace. And then they can just hop back if they want to the Miller column view.
Oh,
and
nice.
So very much, I mean, you'll recognize that we've really replicated a lot of the reports out of reports and analytics that your users are probably running. And so,
that's a huge time saver. Some of those reports and analytics, although they may look simple, they take like 20 steps in Workspace to build. So I think this is awesome that these are going to just be out of the box.
Yeah. I think those new users, those like novice users will really appreciate it. It's great.
Yeah.
Love it.
And then actually that's I was going to go over to the learning tab here. One other thing that is worth noting is I mentioned that the templates from Analysis Workspace are here. So you'll see like mobile acquisition and web acquisition. Those are Workspace templates, not reports and analytics reports, but they're integrated directly into this Miller column view. So if you load them up, you'll see they're a little more complex than those reports that we just viewed. But that's where you'll go to find those templates. And then the last tab might actually be my favorite, the learning tab. So here we
especially for this audience.
Right, because it's a lot of YouTube. So we've brought together a ton of learning resources that are geared around teaching you how to actually do something. So it's not just a checklist that you might have to figure out how to follow. We've got videos here, training tutorial template, navigating this new landing page. You can go watch this video right after this and see Travis Saban on our team demo this thing. You can open up any of these videos and dig into them. We've got various groupings here, finding insights, understanding the data. From here, you can launch into playlists that are specific to these categories on the YouTube channel. And if you want to, you can see everything in here. And one of the things we're considering doing for the future, it's not in there now, but we've already heard the feedback. As users of Adobe Analytics, maybe the champions of Adobe Analytics in your organizations, you want to be able to put your own videos and your own wiki pages and Excel documents in here, and so that's something that we're looking at for the future as well.
We are the media experts.
We are the media experts.
That does make sense.
So that is that's what's coming, and again, you'll be able to opt into this public beta and give us feedback. You see this big provide feedback button here, so you'll be able to share your feedback with the group. It'll actually also ask you for feedback if you opt out. Once you've opted in, if you opt back out, it'll ask you for feedback, so you can tell us why you. And I'm not going to because I want to pollute the system. But that's awesome. It's coming, like I said, as soon as I stop sharing. So
send the Slack now.
Send the Slack now. All right. Thank you so much. Yeah. Yep. I'm gonna be done.
And by the way, at 5 o'clock Eastern in 3 minutes, we'll also have videos on our Analytics YouTube channel going live, walking you through how to do what Ben just did. And so with all of that, we first of all want to say thank you. Thank you for sticking with us since 2015. A million views is pretty cool. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Jen. Thanks for all the hard work over the years. It's been so much fun working together on this stuff. And
ditto, my friend.
Yeah. That should be live now, by the way. So enjoy. Enjoy, guys.
All right.
Get to the giveaway.
Well, before you go refresh Analysis Workspace, give this URL a shot. And Anu, please do drop this into the chat pod, adobe.ly/all lowercase million T's. And you'll have the chance once per person to get some very stylish tees, just like we have here. They are incredibly comfy.
They are really comfortable.
Really, this may be our softest t-shirt yet.
Rick Maddox
Yeah.
did it again.
Rick is pushing the envelope on comfiness over there.
Oh.
Actually, I've been wearing mine all day. I picked up sandwiches for us for lunch, and the only person outside of our analytics pod that has seen one was the person whom I picked up the sandwiches for, and he said, "Hey, cool shirt, man." So that could be you. That could be you. So hit up that link, and also I think do we have a slide in here for Doug? I forgot.
No.
Okay.
You can mention it.
So a couple of things. If you want to contribute to the Analytics YouTube channel, reach out to me and we can work together, find some great content for you to create. I'll make some recommendations on how it can be more professional than what we have going on here today. And so you can find me on LinkedIn or Measure Slack or Twitter. You can find me on my email if you don't have it. It's my last name at adobe.com. And that's kind of all there is to it. So, I did have one more celebratory thing to pull out of my
what he brought up here.
Adobe bag here.
Bring up here.
Well, Ben, Ben already finished his.
Oh gosh.
I just got some beers to
We're
celebrate.
turning this into a happy hour. I
Yeah,
guess.
a little happy hour to celebrate
do it
the
at
first
home.
million.
Well, I'll pretend to drink.
There you go. All right.
Cheers,
Cheers.
guys.
Thank you, everyone. To you.
Yep.
Million.
Thank you so much. And that's all we have to it. So thanks so much. See you for the 2 million party. All right.
See you later.
Bye. Bye.
Great job. Thank you, Ben, Eric, and Jen, for a great celebration, and a big thank you to our audience for joining us today. We hope to see you again in the future.